Hi, our names are Edoardo Marcucci and
Valerio Gatta, teaching at Molde University College and Roma Tre University.
this presentation is about city logistics landscape in the era of on-demand economy, the ABCs of urban freight, e-commerce and on-demand logistics.
The agenda for this speech foresees a contextualization of urban freight transport, followed by a description of the current trends, with a final part illustrating the instruments we can use to effectively deal with the problems characterizing this sector.
Urban freight transport is defined as all movements of goods into, out of, through, or within the urban area made by light or heavy vehicles, including service trips.
The main issues and trends making urban freight not sustainable are the explosion of e-commerce related trips, the increase of city dwellers, the aging of the population, and the effects of the pandemic.
Urban freight transport encompasses a huge variety of transport operations and very different logistical tasks and requirements. The only common factor is that they take place in a urban area and concern the movement of goods and services traveled by commercial entities.
Freight vehicles make up a small share of global road fleets and equivalent vehicles miles traveled. Yet, they account for a large share of road sector energy consumption, gases, and toxic atmospheric pollutants. Given the sector heavily relies on diesel vehicles, it presents significant challenges for global, national, and regional climate goals, as well as for air quality, health, noise, and equity in cities. Across the world, ensuring a sustainable transition in cities is key to adhering to the 1.5-degree warming goals of the Paris Climate Agreement. The urban freight sector has a significant role to play in this transition.
What are the most important trends in this sector? In my opinion, they are e-commerce, on-demand logistics, and logistics sprawl. A relevant trend is fragmentation. In recent years, the goods distribution system in European cities has undergone a strong fragmentation. There are many polluting and oversized vehicles compared to actual demand. The fragmentation of loads and journeys is accentuated by the recent expansion of e-commerce and instant deliveries, contributing to an increase in the number of deliveries and environmental impacts.
The on-demand economy refers to a new economic business model that is based on a use of online platforms that allow immediate matching between a user who requires a good or a service and another who can provide it, sharing the assets of goods, skills, time of which it is in possession. The impact of on-demand economy in society is enormous. In the United States, the 3.9 million workers employed in the sector in 2017 will increase, according to forecasts, to 9.2 million with the creation of a new class of entrepreneurs and workers. Additionally, we are also confronted with the so-called logistics sprawl, a term used to describe the pattern of outward migration of logistics facilities from urban centers to suburban and rural areas. This represents an historical pattern, which is the result of growing competition for space in urban areas and subsequent increases in property prices. Urban real estate costs are usually much higher in densely populated areas and decrease as you move farther out. Since the demand for goods is concentrated in cities, the distant distribution centers from which goods vehicles depart imply greater distances and therefore growing externalities.
How can we tackle these problems? What are the tools and procedures we can use? One can in principle assert urban freight ecosystem is characterized by complexity, interaction among stakeholders with heterogeneous and often conflicting interests. Therefore, in order to introduce effective and sustainable innovations while stimulating behavior change, it is fundamental to involve stakeholders in the planning and deployment of such innovations, adopting a participatory planning approach. Appropriate planning tools are needed. Among the most important ones, there are logistic living labs, digital twins, and acceptability. The living lab is an environment foreseeing the continuous involvement of public and private stakeholders to co-create, test, and implement efficient and shared solutions in disconnection with previously adopted decision-making paradigms that simply rely on the predict and provide approach. Digital twin is a prominent tool that provides reliable and timely predictions so to better define and deploy intervention policies aimed at mitigating and possibly solving the problems. Last but not least, focusing on stakeholder policy acceptability is essential, especially in case of innovative solutions or disruptive changes. We suggest using a method based on stated preferences and discrete choice models capable of assessing acceptance, adoption, and reactions to different types of innovation and, more importantly, identifying compromise solutions. This method can be perfectly integrated within a digital twin approach, adding a sound theory and knowledge with respect to the relationships linking contextual reality and choice behavior, allowing to make sense of what happens in the real world.
In conclusion, poor logistics efficiency due to low load factors caused by high demand fragmentation will have relevant negative consequences for cities in terms of pollution, congestion, and overall city livability. Policymakers should equip themselves with appropriate tools to perform reliable, comprehensive, and timely analysis of urban logistics scenarios, also considering upcoming technological changes, business model evolutions, and spatial temporal changes these innovations will produce. The joint use of behavioral and simulation models characterizing a digital twin within a living lab approach is fundamental when dealing with city logistic problems in the era of on-demand economy. This will stimulate effective, well-informed, and participated planning processes to forecast both behavior and reactions to structural changes and policy measures implementations, with the final intent of promoting a flexible yet robust behavior change in an uncertain world. We would like to thank you for your attention
And wish you all the best.